Hey guys, only me here. I was asked to do something in The Little Darlings by Kelly Horton, and to see what the difference is by one of my subscribers that's seen this book when I was doing my entire book collection. So I'm just going to flip back and we're just going to do a small page, and I'm going to split it in half the best that I can and do half gesso and half not. So I'm just going to use a piece of washi tape. When I buy washi tape, I get these rolls that are like half and half, that are just like the cut off rolls, so I just use those for different projects. So what I'm going to try to do is manipulate this tape to kind of just cut her in half, the best that I can, of course. I guess if I would have cut it into sections, it would have been easier, but you know, we're just going to do it like that. Okay, so then from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to gesso one side. I'll actually gesso this side. I don't like where her nose is, so I want to just redo that just a little bit. Okay, that'll be fine. You guys will at least get the idea. Now the gesso that I use is this Art Basics clear gesso. Of course, all the links to everything that I'm going to be using will be down in the description. But really, it's just the book, gesso. I get a cheap spatula from the dollar store. This is what I use to gesso with. I find that if I use a brush, I sometimes get brush strokes, and then it's kind of hard after that. So I'm going to go ahead and gesso this, and then I'm going to stop recording for a minute until it dries. I don't like putting the heat gun on it because sometimes it blisters, and I don't like that. But I'm sure that you guys don't want to sit here while the gesso dries, and I'm just going to take a little bit of my spatula and I am going to gesso it up. And like I said, I am just gessoing this one side, and I just put on a thin layer of it. And I know that I'm going outside the lines, but on this page I really don't care, just because it is just a practice page. Okay, so we're going to let that dry real quick. It won't take very long at all, and I will be right back. And I'm back, and it's all dried. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove this washi tape, and as you can see, the picture still looks the same. Nothing has changed. And I'm just going to use some Prismas, because that's what I got sitting right here next to me. Put all that, my goodies over here, so remember to put them away. Let's see what we have. Just go with this. Okay, so I'm just going to color the whole picture like I would normally and see if I feel a difference. Now, I have not tested this method out yet, so we're going to see, but it does feel different. So we're either going to pass or fail together, or find out that it just doesn't work. I know a lot of people swear by gesso. I have tested out like water medium with gesso. Okay, I can already feel and see that there's a color difference. Oh, let me zoom you guys in. I'm so sorry. Zoom. I don't know if you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. Oh, I forgot her little ear. Okay. it does, like my pencil is gliding over it a lot different. And we might get interrupted here. Of course, it's summer and the kids are home, and right now they are fighting over your game console. But in my house, that's a pretty normal thing. Okay. So I'm just kind of, you know, doing it roughly, you guys. But I do notice that I use the same amount of pressure on both sides, and the one with the gesso, actually we could. So we know that's the gesso side. But the color is actually darker with the same amount of pressure. Okay, so then from there, let's go with a little bit of, I gotta sharpen this up. Okay, so I want mahogany red. Now we're gonna go on with a little bit of nectar. And I have tried this paper before, and I realized that with it, it took a lot of manipulating it to get a smoother effect without seeing all of the white. And that's just me personally, and how I've felt about the paper thus far. I do feel though that if you don't get an even coverage of the gesso, you might run into a little bit of an issue. Don't know yet. I'm still trying to find out. I'll actually find out when I cross over that center line. Okay, and let's grab us some peach. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see that line forming right there. You can see it a little bit right there where the gesso and non-gesso sides meet. And I'm just doing this exactly how I would any other time. Oh, I should just real little, throw that in there. But any other portrait, like I'm doing it the same way that I would color any other face. Except for, I mean, I am doing it a little bit quicker, but still the same blending technique, still the same pressure that I would normally use. Okay, and let's go with the, oops, let's do this part down here. Alright, I'm going to go in with some light peach. And we'll just blend all that out. Now I do find that with the gesso side, I can feel and see that I can add more layers onto it, because it did give me a little bit more tooth to play with. Okay, I am going to hit it with just a little bit of white to try to blend out some of that. Because I know this side isn't going to take many more layers. Okay, so just real light again over all of it with some white. And I can already feel this white just sliding on this, like where it just doesn't want to take no more. Okay, let's jump on over to this side. Now over here I have where I can actually feel the paper trying to grip the pencil. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Like I can, when I'm coloring, I can feel, you can kind of feel, especially with Prismas, because they're so waxy and they build up so quickly that you can kind of feel if they're just gliding over the paper or if they're actually, if the paper's actually grabbing onto them. Now I did notice that with the gesso side it kind of got a little bit more milkier because I could have added more color, but I wanted to make sure that I did the same thing on both sides. That's as good as that side's gonna get. Okay, so there's that. And like I said, you guys could see this line that clearly runs down the center of her face. Alright, but we're gonna just keep going here. I'm gonna give her kind of a natural-ish, maybe, lip. Okay, maybe not too natural. But we're just gonna go in with some of that mahogany red, since that's what I have here. And we'll just go back with this nectar. And let's see what else I have here. Okay, I got some blues. We can give her some blue eyes. Oh, let me get that blue back. So I think with this gesso, it might take a little bit more manipulating, but I do like the vibrancy of the colors that I'm getting. Okay, let's darken up her eyeballs part right here. And I'm just using a Sharpie pen. Okay, what do I have here? Slate gray. That'll work. I'm just going to put a little bit of this in the white parts of her eyes to make it a little less white. And we're going to go back in. Let's clean off this white. We'll go back in with this white, blend that out. Corner of our eye here, a little bit of nectar. Okay, let's see, I have, I was trying to see what I had actually sitting just on my desk, but it's okay. I was just playing with some Prismas a little while ago, so. And I will bring it up closer for you guys so you guys can see here. Just a minute. Pop up the Prisma case. I want to try, let's go with a little bit of these grays here. Sorry guys. Her name is Emerald, but I guess we could have went with green eyes, but no, it's all good. Just trying to grab some colors here real quick. Okay, I think we'll just go with this. I don't know if this is going to actually work the way that I want it to, but we are just testing things out anyway. If you guys hear all that running around, I apologize. Blaze got off to his camping trip this morning, and he was so excited. I was waiting to see how this morning was actually going to go, because he was so nervous. The dad took him down there and he got off safe. He found out that he gets to go zip lining, so he's super stoked now. I can't believe the color difference between the gesso and the non-gesso side. That's still blowing my mind right now. I need to take my nail polish off today and redo my nails. Me and Xander were testing out a couple of new colors again. let me go back in with, let me give this a sharpen real quick. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend with this color. You know, and I'm trying to do this in just a few pencils because I know not all of you are like me or other colorists who don't mind layers upon layers upon layers. Some people just don't like that layering process, and that's cool. We all color for enjoyment, for stress relief, for a number of different things. So however you color to get the most out of it for what you're doing it for, then that's what's important. I can feel that line. Like if I go back and forth like this, I can feel the line going down the center. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a little bit of this, what color is this? Light umber. I'm just going to flick in a few little dark hairs, I guess you could say. So right now what I would say is I'm really liking the gesso on this paper. A, because, well, I like the layer. But not only that, B, I think that it blends a little bit better. And the color vibrancy is a lot different. But what I will say is that if you are going to use gesso, to test it out a little bit first, because especially when you're doing skin and things like that, it might be darker than what you initially were going for. Okay, let me pop these back in real quick. Let's try out some. Guys, I'm not going for it to be absolutely perfect. Yikes. Oh, that sound. And that's the color that I wanted. But luckily, it didn't break. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with these leaves real quick. I don't know about you guys, but greens and reds seem to be my colors that I struggle with the most when it comes to blending. Like especially on like big spaces, not like this. But when I feel like when I get green, red's not so bad. I'm getting better with red, but like I feel like when I go green, I just can't get it to manipulate the way that I want it to. Let's get Sheldon over here. Our little marine green here. Its tip broke off. Okay, much better. But yeah, big spaces I just cannot do green in. And that one broke too. Well, that is the one I dropped, so that probably was my fault. It's because me and Xander have been working on a project, and so I have stuff all over my desk. Oh my god, I'm surprised that I have this much room to work right now. Okay, so we're going to come in, and we're just going to blend those, try to blend all that out. Most of you guys know that I am a person that likes to blend with their pencils. I only use a blender pencil when I absolutely need to, when I can't get it to work. Okay, so already, and it could be me because I'm biased, but these greens are actually blending really nice on this gesso. And it could be because it kind of like I can feel that it moves more on this paper. Okay, so real quick, well, I can do that in a minute. You know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring this green back down here. I think that's her, like, wrap, or like shawl, or whatever you want to call it. Sorry guys, just gonna kind of concentrate a little bit here. Over here, just trying to get this to blend just a little bit more. Okay. One more time. And yeah, see this, or over here it's just kind of sliding around. Or over here I can feel it, that it'll still take more layers if I wanted to. And I know that that light line might not be correct. I wasn't too worried about that. I just wanted to see if I put two colors together, how it would react. Let's just go ahead and give her, I'll go with this blue. Okay. Let's see how this works. Now I can feel, now this is just one of those Sharpie pens. Actually, I'm not going to say what it feels like yet. Let me do this side. I don't know why I just did that. That's okay. Okay, so when I'm using the Sharpie pen, I feel like over here it gets a little splotchier. So that might be one of those things that I would have to come in with pencil. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, like, where it just like bubbles up on top of the gesso because it's just sitting on top. Like, I can see that it's still wet, where this is already dry. This is still wet, like just sitting on top, waiting. To do its thing and to soak into the paper. Okay. The jelly roll is the same way. Like, that side over there is already dry. This is still wet and it's kind of bubbled up on the paper. But I do like the way that it blends a little bit better. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop her up here, see if you guys can see the difference at all. And it was just a really quick kind of sketch. Now what I do want to do is I'm going to take this blue and I'm just going to go real messy around the outside here. I'm not going to go anything, I'm not trying to be really super neat about it. I am just doing a quick cover because I want to see if you guys can see the actual difference. Okay, now you can see where I kind of got a little haphazard with my gesso. You see the lines, that's why I said you guys got to be really careful. But I mean, I don't know if you can really see or not, but like there's white on both sides. The color is just slightly different. This side's a little bit darker, but this side right here, you could see, or you can feel it too, how there's a lot of tooth left if I wanted to work more layers into it. So yeah, I think that I will try a full picture in this book with the gesso. But like right now her eyelashes are still wet. So that I'm probably gonna have to go in with some pencil. And like it just like bubbled up. Like I'm sure, like I think that if I just take my pencil, I can, here, see. If I do that, you guys can, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is eyelashes across my whole fingertip. See this side. And I got nothing on this side. So, but otherwise that's probably the only thing. Let's try this where the jelly roll was. Very little bit came off on that. But I hope that helps. Kenny, I hope that maybe this will tell you a little bit of something. I don't know, girl. I am liking the gesso though. Like I want to play with it some more and just see. See, now I'm like, I got my curiosity piqued and I have to keep going. So I'm just going to take a lighter color. And just quickly go over this all again. Okay, and then this is where I'm really seeing the difference at. Okay, let me pop that back up for you guys. Let me pull this book over. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but like on this side, there's still a lot of white, where over here you can see that it's starting to actually blend, and I can still put more layers over here. So I think the key is to get your gesso on nice and smooth. If not, you're just going to have to work with it and manipulate it a little bit. Make sure that whatever color you use, you kind of test out, because it does change the color of the pencil just a little bit. It makes it a little bit more dark, or more vibrant, I guess you can say, just brighter. But it does give you a little bit of extra texture that's different from the book, and it does allow you to put some extra layers on. So for today, that is where we are going to stay. And there is our emerald. So let me know what you guys think. And if you guys have tried gesso, if you haven't tried gesso, if you like it, if you don't like it. Right now I am liking it, so I am going to do a whole page in this book as soon as I'm done with all my HK5 books. I have so many pictures still to go. Well, not me, but my family. But I need to get them on the ball, because otherwise they're going to drop the ball and I'm still going to have to make up for it. So, alright guys, I'm going to leave you guys here for now. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye guys.